So I just finished watching the Sleepy Hollow finale, season 3 finale, and I'm trying to figure out what the was that. All right, let's just take care of the elephant in the room. I woke up Saturday morning, checked my news feed to find out that Nicole Bihari, who coincidentally is the finest thing this side of Halle Berry, she decided that she wants to leave the show because she felt like her character was being sidelined for other characters. Now, I believe that's the reason that people read between the lines. She didn't exactly state that, but I think that's what people interpreted. Listen, season 2, I could completely understand where she's coming from because in season 2 they introduced this character who was kind of like Shaggy out of Scooby Doo, some kind of relic hunter who was pointless to the show. When season 3 came around, I thought they kind of righted the ship in terms of getting all the characters in place and jettisoning characters that really added no contribution. They did add the character of the captain's son, Abby's old captain, who was killed in the debut episode, if I'm not mistaken. His son became the boyfriend to Jenny. I didn't think his character really added anything, but I'm like, okay, you got rid of all the other garbage, fine. The only issue I had with season 3 was that they introduced the new villain of the series or of the season. They introduced the hidden one and they introduced Pandora. And that really went nowhere. They kept those two characters kind of locked in a basement, and all we heard was dialogue about the hidden one was going to rise to power. He was going to become all powerful. He was his god that was going to take over the earth. And we didn't really see anything. All it became was Pandora and the hidden one conjuring up new creatures for Abby and Crane to fight. And as usual, Abby and Crane would always be confronted with the creature, and then they would go to the library, read a couple books, and find a way to defeat the creature. That kind of got in a rut, and that element was pretty bad. But in terms of Abby, I thought they were starting to launch her in a new direction. She just came back from the catacombs, which is this dimension where the hidden one, I guess, originated from. We see her go into the catacombs. She took the shard of something or other so that Pandora couldn't get a hold of it and give it to the hidden one, and he would then get all of his powers to destroy the world. So she goes into the catacombs. She stays there. She goes crazy. And I thought that gave Nicole Bahari some good stuff to work with. I would think as an actor, trying to portray that struggle with no one to act against, I get the sense that an actor would kill for a role like that because it gives them a chance to play, to explore. Then she comes back, and we find out that the Orlando Jones character has been written off. I wasn't really a fan of that character anyway. I wasn't a fan of the actor. I couldn't take him seriously because I know him for comedic roles. And they introduced Lance Gross as her new police chief. And as much as I wanted Abby and Crane to get together, it looks like they were taking it in a route where Abby and the new police chief were going to hook up because they hinted at some sort of past romance or the chief had feelings for Abby when they were in the academy. So whenever you introduce a love interest, that tells me that you're going to be writing more arcs for that character, maybe subplots or B stories that involve that love interest. So it seemed to me they were on a track for Nicole to have a lot more to do. There was another subplot where she was being drawn by this symbol, and they never really developed that. I assume it had something to do with the hidden one and her time in the catacombs, but I thought she was given a lot of meaty stuff to do. She was dealing with her time in the catacombs. She was there for years. She's dealing with the new love interest. She's dealing with the symbol that the writers hadn't fleshed out as to what that really entailed. So I don't understand why she was unhappy and felt like they were shunting her character to the side for these new characters. Now, to be honest, adding Betsy Ross was kind of lame, I thought. I didn't really find anything interesting in her. I thought Pandora was given way too much to do. And again, the hidden one was given virtually nothing to do. So I don't know. I just don't see what she's saying, and I'm really disappointed that she left. I will say this. I think with her departure, they do have a shot at filling her slot with I don't know the character's name, but she's played by Jessie Camacho, the Latina, who turned out to be an FBI agent. They could replace Abby with her because she's a good actress as well. But the thing is, the chemistry won't be the same. I started watching this show, and the only reason I watched this show is because of Tom Mison and Nicole Beharie. I thought their chemistry was off the charts, which is one of the reasons I wanted Ikabi to happen. Putting all that aside, the finale was just a mess, completely a mess. Scenes happen, characters end up in one place and magically they appear in another place. Uh, People get turned into Wendigos for no apparent reason other than to get rid of those characters. There's a scene in a graveyard where Pandora has stolen the power of the Hidden One. Oh, speaking of that, you mean to tell me that the Hidden One is this all-powerful God, yet he gets taken out by a bullet? It doesn't make any sense. You mean to tell me that Pandora, who stole the Hidden One's powers by tricking Abby into giving her life essence to Pandora's box, you mean to tell me that all she can do once she has these godlike powers is to use them for telekinesis to stab the Headless Horseman multiple times, and then the Headless Horseman still walks up to her and basically chops her down with an axe? This is an all powerful God we're talking about. Made absolutely no sense, and how they even wrote Abby off of the show, how they killed her off. This mumbled, meandering, Zen like bullshit. If you're going to kill off a major character that fans like, do it in a way that's fitting so that at least we can go away with that. That we feel like, okay, they did what they felt they had to do. Nicole wanted to leave. They sent her off in a high fashion. This was just a dreamlike kind of, not even clear if she was really dead. We see a gravestone, but all we see in terms of her death is her get sucked into the box. Well, we just saw her get sucked into the catacombs. So why are you telling us that she's dead? If you're going to make her dead, do it in a way that we can have some sort of conclusion, resolution, finality. So I don't know. I think the show, well, first of all, it's on Friday nights now. That's pretty much a sign of the confidence they have in the show. And to send it off like that, to send Abby off like that, I think we, the fans, deserve better. And that's the martini.